Hey YouTubers, I have a Ryobi power washer that I've used for several years and I really like that one. It does a great job. I use it around the house to wash the house, the patio, driveway, patio furniture, what have you. And I thought I would go ahead and purchase the smallest unit they make right here to use strictly for washing the cars. So here's what you get for your $99. And honestly, I think this is a great value. You get Ryobi's standard 2-piece spray wand. And it's actually a nice unit. It has a very light trigger to it, so it won't give you a lot of fatigue. You can lock out the trigger so you don't accidentally spray. It has a standard quick disconnect on the end. I do wish that it used a standard quick disconnect here because I would really prefer a shorter spray wand for car washing. But I've taken care of that by purchasing a snubby spray wand already. Now, one of the things I like about this unit is it does not have a built-in soap dispenser. Instead, they give you this soap dispensing attachment. And this goes on the nozzle like that. And it will spray soapy water, but I've bought a foam cannon that I'm going to use for auto detailing. I do have an idea on how I might be able to use this though. The hose that comes with the unit is 20 foot long and it's very stiff. I did try to wash the cars with this one time and found that the hose is too short to go around even our smallest vehicle without having to pick up and move the unit several times, which is very frustrating. And then, like I said, the hose itself is very stiff. So I purchased a longer, much more flexible hose that I'm going to use instead. I've also purchased quick disconnect adapters that will allow me to put the unit together, use it, and break it down very quickly, and also change spray wands if I want to very quickly. The unit comes with 2 spray nozzles, a turbo nozzle and a 15-degree nozzle. Now, the turbo nozzle is actually pretty good, and I'm surprised that they would include that at this price point. Sometimes these can cost $15 by themselves. But neither of those are safe to use for auto washing. So I've purchased some different spray nozzles. One thing I don't care for about this unit is the electrical cord is permanently attached, as you would expect, but there's no provision really for storing the cord. What they've come up with is to coil the cord up and then attach it to the handle with this Velcro. And that's a little awkward and not as neat and tidy or convenient as it could be, so I've come up with a workaround for that. Overall, though, the unit is very impressive. It's very lightweight. You get a lot for your money. It does a really good job, and it's very, very quiet. So the way this unit comes, you're supposed to coil up the cord and then put it over the handle and take this Velcro and pass it around the cord and through this loop and then attach it back to itself. And that's supposed to hold the cord in place. And it does work, but I found it to be a little awkward. So I've already taken the screws out of the handle here. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to ditch the Velcro. And there's a little groove here in the top where you would normally snap in the wand that came with the unit, but I'm not going to be using that wand. And so I found a scrap piece of PVC pipe I had lying around, and I want to put that down in that groove and glue that into place so I could simply wrap the cord around it when I'm done and put it away that way. So I'm going to get started on that mod and let's see how that turns out. Okay, so here's the handle, and like I say, this is a piece of 3/4 inch irrigation riser that one end was already cut off of, and it's actually the right size to fit down in here, but these little ridges in here are in the way. That's much better. Got the pipe glued on the top. Just use some 2-part epoxy in here and plug the ends up with a little bit of black silicone because I don't want to have dirt doppers making nests inside the hollow pipe. A little bit of Velcro here on the end, and it'll wrap up nice and neat. So what comes with a Ryobi, especially for $99, is not bad, but I've made 4 significant upgrades. First of all, I've got a really nice high quality Uberflex hose here that's 50 feet long. Much better than a 20-foot hose that comes with the Ryobi, and this one's very stiff and tends to kink. So that's going to be a big upgrade. I've upgraded the spray gun with a nice stubby gun that works better around a car than this long unit that comes standard with the Ryobi. I've also upgraded the soap dispenser from what comes with the Ryobi, which just sort of drizzles out some mildly soapy water, to a decent quality foam cannon. This came from Harbor Freight, and it's actually a pretty good unit. And so the last upgrade I made was the standard 40-degree nozzle. This came included with this gun, is fine, and it works okay. This unit is all stainless steel and has a little bit better spray pattern to it, but most importantly, it has this nice soft guard on it, so that if you accidentally bump this against the car, or if you don't insert it in the gun properly and you squeeze a trigger and this thing shoots out, it's much less likely to do any damage. So these upgrades are really going to make a significant upgrade in the enjoyment of using the Ryobi unit. Okay, I purchased all of this with my own money. I just was looking for what looked like a good balance between quality and price. And so I chose this unit, for instance, because it's all stainless steel and brass construction, and it came with 3 different adapters. The one I'll be using is the quick release adapter. They also threw in a 40 and 25 degree nozzle, which is nice, but I don't need these. So I purchased a quick release set for another company, and I want to make sure that the quick release set from this company will mate with the quick release that came with the trigger. So here's the adapter that will thread onto my hose, and I want to make sure that these 2 quick releases work together properly, and that looks like a good fit. So I'm going to go ahead and install this on here. All right, this is what was included in my quick release kit. Now, one of these I'll thread onto my pressure washer, and this will go onto my hose. So I have a quick release to connect the hose to the pressure washer. Okay, on the other end, this will go on my hose, and this will connect to my Stubby Gun adapter. Now, since I have an extra one of these, I'm going to attach this to my Ryobi wand. So if I wanted to switch between my Stubby wand and the Ryobi wand, it would be just a quick matter of pop the disconnect off of one and onto the other. Okay, they also threw in garden hose quick disconnects. So this end would go on your garden hose, this end would go on the inlet on your pressure washer, and then you have a quick disconnect there. I have another brand of quick disconnects I use on all my garden hoses, so I'm not going to be using these, but it was actually cheaper to buy this whole kit than it was to get just these pieces that I actually need by themselves. Okay, now I've got the quick disconnects attached to my Uberflex hose. So that's all it takes to connect and disconnect the spray wand. So the 2 orifices, one is larger and one is smaller. The larger one is for using with a gas power washer. The smaller one's using for an electric power washer. And so what you do is put your wrench on here and unscrew this part. And when you look down inside there, after you've removed this silver part, you'll see the orifice. And just look at the 2 that are included in the kit and see which is installed already. Like I say, if you have a gas washer, you want to put the larger one in. If you have an electric power washer, you want the smaller one in. And so to remove those, just reach down inside of there with a screwdriver and hook on those little grooves and unscrew whichever one is in there and put in the proper one. And once you get that in there good and snug, then just put this back on and tighten that up and you're good to go. Now, the Ryobi comes with a 15 degree and a turbo nozzle. I do not recommend using those for car washing. What I recommend is a 40 degree nozzle. And this is just a standard 40 degree nozzle, and this happened to come with the Stubby trigger gun that I got. But a better option if you want to make the upgrade is to get these power wash nozzles that have soft rubber tips on them to protect in case you accidentally bump them against the car, or if you don't insert them fully into the gun and the pressure washer spits them out, this is a lot less likely to hurt something. And so I got this kit here for about $19, and it comes with a 0 degree, a 15 degree, a 25, a 40, and a soap nozzle. Now, of course, this soap nozzle won't work with the Ryobi washer that we're talking about today because it does not have a soap tank on it, but it might come in handy for another power washer down the road. So all I'm going to use out of this kit for car washing is this. Okay, I just finished washing the truck with this rig and it worked out fantastic. But I've already learned a couple of things. I usually use this Griot's ceramic washing coat to wash with. And it leaves a great ceramic coating, beads water great, everything, but I never have loved it as a soap. It's not the best at cleaning. It doesn't foam at all. And so what I did was I bought some of the Griot snow foam and put that in the foam gun, and that worked fantastic. I washed the wheels on the truck with tire cleaner and wheel cleaner first, and then I foamed the truck from the bottom upward, as Griot's recommends. Washed the hard to reach areas with a pole here, then used a regular mitt to wash the rest of the truck. Once everything was washed, I went ahead and rinsed it down good, and then I used the Ryobi soap gun to spray a very weak dilution of this ceramic washing coat all over the truck because it wasn't beading water all that great. And so spraying this on there, letting it sit for just a moment, and then rinsing it off really made the truck bead water much better. So I think this is a good 1-2 punch. Use the snow foam to clean and use this after rinsing and then rinse again. Now Griot's does not recommend mixing them, so that's why I took this approach. One thing I did learn also is it is really handy to have a shutoff valve on your water connector. It saves you a lot of going back and forth to the faucet, so I recommend that. You cannot put your soap in there and then spray the hose in there because it makes foam everywhere. So put you some water in a cup, put your measured amount of soap in, and then pour out of the cup into your container to fill it up. Now, I used all the foam I needed to do the truck, and there's still some room left. I think I'm going to mix up just a tiny bit more, and I'll have enough left over to almost do the wife's car without having to make a whole nother batch. So another thing I'm going to try differently is I'm not going to pre-wash the wheels and tires this time. I'm just going to spray them with the foam and go over them with my tire washing tools and see how that works out. So let's see how this goes. When you're done cleaning your car, don't forget to fill your soap dispenser and foam cannon with water and spray them out to get all the soap out of there. You don't want these things to get clogged up. I hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you did. Thank you.